So you're getting your first job, or a new job maybe, and you want to figure out, what's my paycheck going to look like? And on top of that, how long would it take me to save up $1,000 or whatever your savings target might be? Each time I get paid, how much is going to go to my bills and how much am I going to have left after that? How much can I spend on things like food, gas, and entertainment every pay period? So today we're going to model this out. Let's show you some tools you can use to figure it out, and let's see how long it takes based on how much you spend to get to $1,000 in your checking or savings account. So to get started, we're going to start plugging some numbers into our model to show you just how simple this is. And before we even get to the income, which is the first thing we're going to put in, I'm going to go to the Smart Asset Paycheck Calculator, and we're going to put in our hourly wage and the number of hours we're going to work per pay period to figure out about how much we're going to make per paycheck. You probably already know this, but some money's going to come out for things like taxes or Medicare and Social Security. So I've put in a typical starting wage, depending on where you live in the US, for somebody that starts maybe a restaurant, fast food kind of a job. We're assuming you can get $16.50 an hour. And we're also assuming you're going to work about 20 hours per week. So we're assuming you're going to get paid biweekly, which is the most common way that people get paid in the US. So every 2 weeks, say on Friday, you're going to get a paycheck. You can see I put in Cleveland, Ohio for the location. I put in biweekly here, and then allowances, so the amount that your employer is going to actually have taken out of your paycheck to pay ahead of time for taxes are shown here as just one for now. So you can see down here your gross paycheck before anything comes out is $660 every 2 weeks. You can see some taxes come out. You've got FICA, so you've got some Social Security, Medicare coming out. Looks like $51 a paycheck it's estimating. And we're not going to take out any sort of deductions for health care, anything like that. We're assuming that you're just going to take the rest of the money in your paycheck. So there we go. $590 every 2 weeks is our estimate. This is just an estimate, and you're going to see the exact number once you get your first paycheck. And we're going to take that $590, and I'll just plug it in here to our model. I'll call it paycheck. I'm going to click add, and I'm going to say $590 every 2 weeks. And save that. Now right away across the top you can see your paychecks coming in, and you can see the dates of your paychecks. We're assuming you're going to get one on June 26th and then every 2 weeks after that going forward. And if I scroll to the right, we can see this for 5 years out, even 10 years out, assuming that your income isn't going to change for now. So now we need to add some expenses here. And the other thing I want you to notice is the checking account. We have that set as our main account, meaning all of our money is going to go right into our checking account, and any expenses that we have are going to come right out of that checking account. We're going to keep it simple. So let's add what we call fixed expenses. If this is your first job, maybe you're living at home, you don't need to pay for rent yet, we're going to keep this simple. You probably don't have a lot of fixed expenses, but let's say you need to pay for your cell phone. So we're going to add your cellular telephone here. And let's say you go with Mint Mobile. I know that they run a lot of ads. I'm not too familiar with them, but I think that's a pretty cheap way to get a cellular phone. And from a little research that I did, I found that you can actually get a package that comes with a phone for about $17 a month. That's what they're advertising. Now that's every month here. We're going to put monthly. It's not every paycheck. So we'll click that button, and then we're going to hit save. And you're going to see something here. Even though you're getting paid every 2 weeks, that mobile bill is only coming out every time it's actually due, which in this case is once a month. It's $17 on the first of the month. And for now, that's it for fixed expenses. Unless you have to pay for a car, there's probably not much else you're looking at if this is your very first job. But if you're somebody that's already got living expenses, you could plug all those in here too if you wanted to. The main one that we're going to have is food, gas, and entertainment. So there's a reason in this model that we put food, gas, and entertainment all together. What we're saying is every paycheck, you're going to give yourself a fixed amount that you're allowed to spend on everything from going to Starbucks to going to lunch. Maybe you hit up Chipotle. Maybe you hit up Golden Corral, a buffet. I don't know what you're into, whatever you like. You might buy some groceries, but this is also gas for your car if you need to get back and forth to work and pay for that. And this is entertainment. So if you want to go to a concert, if you want to go to the movies, things like that, this all comes out of one number. And why? Why do we do it that way? The reason is those things are all squishy. They're all expenses that you have the ability to change every day as you make decisions. So if you set a specific number for a small window of time, say 2 weeks, say I'm only going to spend this much, then as you progress through those 2 weeks, you get the chance to spend a little less on one thing, spend more on another thing. And the goal is, if you want your model over time to be accurate, you have to hit that number or beat that number. So whatever number you give yourself, commit to it, stick to it, and that's going to make your modeling more accurate. So in this case, we're going to put in an amount of, say it's $20 a day that you can get by on between all of your small expenses. You're going to put in 20 a day. So per pay period, that's going to be $280. That's 14 times 20. And we're going to give you that every paycheck. And we're going to click save. And now you're going to see that $280 coming out. So in your first paycheck, you have $293 left in your checking account after you get your paycheck. You've got your cell bill due, and then you've got your food, gas, and entertainment. Now, our goal was to save $1,000. That happens so fast. It happens by August, and that's fantastic, assuming you can stick to this number. So let's put some money in savings too. One of the things I'll set up here is just a transfer, and I'm going to call this to savings, because you want to put away some money in a savings account, maybe make some interest off of it. And let's say you want to put away like 10% of your $590 per paycheck. So we're going to say, this is $59, 10% of my $590 check. I'm going to take that from checking and I'm going to put it right into savings, and I'm going to do that every 2 weeks. I'm going to do it every paycheck. It's just automatic. So now I'm taking $59 and you can see it's building up in that savings account. And the neat thing about that is, in the savings account, maybe you can get some interest on that savings. Say you find a high yield account where you can get like 4%, which is a lot for now, but you can find that. And now, instead of just $59, you can see it's starting to make some interest every pay period. And that's building up even faster. So this is great. And to answer the question that we started out with, how long does it take you to get to $1,000? You can do that by August. And you're really approaching that by late July. So that's fantastic. But remember, we said $20 a day is what we're going to spend. You've got to stick to that. And that's everything: food, gas, entertainment. What if it was $40 a day? What if you decided you needed to spend a little bit more on a regular basis, or you wanted to? So instead of this number, this $280 per paycheck, we're going to double that. We're going to say $40 a day, which comes out to $560 per paycheck. And watch what happens when I do that. Lot of red, right? So instantly, you're underwater by $46. You don't even have enough to do this, and it gets worse and worse. Now, we're still putting money into the savings account. That has to go, because our checking account can't go negative. We're going to get overdraft fees. It's just not possible. So we have to change this to zero. I'm not going to be able to save anymore. And look at that. After my first paycheck, I just have $13 left. That's after paying my cell phone bill. That's after $40 a day that I'm spending on various things, food, gas, and entertainment. And let's see how long it takes us to get to 1,000. I'm going to scroll to the right and watch that checking balance. And let's just see how long it takes. There it is, $1,023. That happens March 17th of 2028. So close to 2 years from now. So a very simple exercise, obviously, but if you're asking yourself, how long is it going to take me to save this much money? It varies drastically based on how much you're willing to spend every day, or need to spend every day, on all the things that it takes just to get you around transportation-wise and do the fun things and eat the things that you want, stop at Starbucks, do whatever. You can make your own decisions here, but if you're using a model like this, the point is that you can see the future ahead of time. You can pull that forward and understand, what do I need to budget per paycheck to make sure that I hit the goals that I want to hit? And look at the drastic difference we had. Within a few months, we were getting to $1,000 in savings by spending $20 a day versus a couple of years by spending $40 a day. That amount really adds up. So here's the whole point. No matter what job you have, what income you have, you can go and plug these numbers into a model like this. You can change your paycheck amount. Maybe you have more fixed expenses. You could add a car payment, car insurance. You could add even more to a savings account. You could change the interest rate on your savings account. And by pulling the future forward and seeing it right now ahead of time, you can make plans to do what you need to do on a daily, weekly, bi-weekly basis to make sure that you achieve your goals. So I want to give you a few free resources to help you do this. First, if you want a spreadsheet that looks a lot like this, that's already done and you're pretty good with spreadsheets, I'll leave you a link to that. And you can download that and just use it in your own Google Sheets account. If If you could use some help setting that up, then I've got a course that's available to you, and you can see that. I'll leave a link to that as well so that it takes you step by step through all the formulas you need to build that sheet. And if you're a parent or a grandparent or an aunt or uncle and you want to teach your student about this, there's a comprehensive course that teaches them step by step how to make a model like this. And it includes all the financial concepts along the way. But better than that, it's a conversation between you and your student. It's going to send you emails with updates and discussion topics and questions you can ask that gives you progress updates on where your student is getting to. It gives you incentives that you can give them along the way so you can agree as they complete it, they get small rewards. And we know that the number one way students learn financial literacy is through discussions at home with their parents and with their family, and it encourages those discussions and helps guide those discussions. Finally, if you like this app, you can get on the waiting list for sheetkeeper.io. It'll be up and running soon. And if you have a specific scenario you'd like to see run like this, just drop something in the comments. What's the scenario you want me to run? Give me some ideas of income and expenses to put through here and a target that you want to achieve. I'll be back with more scenarios like this, and thanks for watching this one.